Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another Woodland Wolves JV football video, the 1978 season. In this video, we'll take a look at the last preseason game against Reno and the first league game, homecoming game, against rival Davis. So this first game is against Reno on September 30th, 1978. It took place at Reno High's Foster Field, which was located just west of the downtown area. Here you see the Wolves in their white away jerseys. Here is Danny Marquez taking in the opening kickoff for about 15 yards. Here's Tom Wolf handing off to Andrew Fernandez for a short gain. Here's a pitch to Robert Lopez to the left for a few yards. Here's a dive counter to Chris Espinoza for a little gain. Reno now has the ball. Reno was, they competed in the large school division athletically, like Woodland at the time. Although Woodland now competes in a much smaller division. Reno was very competitive in all sports in their area. Good school athletically. Reno now driving into the Wolves' territory, into the red zone, threatening to score. There's a handoff and pow! Ooh, Raul Lopez meets the fullback there. Here's Dean Knowles back to pass, and Robert Lopez steps in and intercepts the ball. He's got nothing but open field ahead of him. He's going to take it back 88 yards for a Wolves touchdown. Just as Reno was knocking on the door, the Wolves defense makes a big stop and puts the Wolves up 6-0. Let's look at that again. Dean Knowles goes back to pass. Mike Hancock puts pressure on. Lopez steps in front of the receiver and takes it to the house to put the Wolves up 6-0. Wow. The week prior, his brother Raul picked up a fumble and returned it 88 yards for a touchdown as well. So back-to-back Lopez touchdowns in consecutive weeks. The extra point attempt is no good. So the Wolves up 6-0. Reno actually had a really good running game. It had a quarterback that could throw and scrambled well, but they were no match for the Wolf Cubs defense. Here's a fake pitch, screen pass to the right, and pow! Met by Robert Lopez. Wow, let's take a look at that again. So Dean Knowles fakes a pitch, looks left, throws a screen to the right, and he's promptly greeted by Robert Lopez. Pow! Boy, he'll feel that tomorrow. And Dean Knowles back to pass, and it's going to be intercepted by Jerry Contreras. Let's take a look at that again. So Dean Knowles goes back to pass. Pressure's put on him by Mike Hancock again. And he throws it up, and it's an easy interception for Contreras. So the Wolves have the ball in Husky territory once again. There's Danny Marquez with a short run. Andrew Fernandez for a short gain there as well. And here's a reverse to Eric Lowen around the right end for 5, 10, 15, about 20 yards. Takes it down to the 20. Andrew Fernandez takes the ball, reverses to Eric Lowen. He's got a blocker or two ahead of him, and he takes it to the Husky 20 for a first down. Wolves threatening. There's a no gain up the middle. Andrew Fernandez for a very short gain. And it looks like quarter ended, and they're going to do a field goal attempt at the other end, which is partially blocked. So it remains 6-0 Wolves. Nice tackle there by Andrew Fernandez. We don't have every play here. My mom, Betty Contreras, did a fantastic job archiving these games. Considering this was all handheld and on Super 8 film, I thought she did a great job. Here's a punt by the Reno Huskies. The Wolves now with the ball. Tom Wolf back to pass and just missed the outstretched arms of Eric Lowen. And Wolf goes back to pass again. Now flushed out to the left. He throws, and Chris Tafoya makes a nice catch for a nice 27-yard gain. Here's a pass in the flat to Andrew Fernandez for a short gain, and the Wolves look like they have to punt. So the Reno Huskies now have the ball. And the Wolf defense is just too tough. Here's a nice run by Reno. And here's a pitch to the right, and not much there. And here's, boom, here's a big hit by Chris Espinoza, and Mike Hancock jumps on the fumble. Espinoza comes through, makes the tackle, jars the ball loose, and Mike Hancock falls on it for a Wolves fumble recovery. Here's Wolf to run around right in for a loss of a couple yards. This ball's dead. Here's a draw to Chris Espinoza. Nice move there. Jumps over another player. A nice little gain. Let's take a look at that again. Here's a draw to Chris Espinoza. Runs to the left. Jumps over a player. Picks up a few more yards. Nice run, Chris. And looks like that was the end of the half. Wolves returning to the field. Jim Dove kicking off for the Wolves. The Wolves defense was a big part of their success this year. A bunch of tough, good athletes. Lineman Tim Anderson, Travis Anderson, Mike Hancock, Mike Washburn. Corners Robert Lopez and Oscar Romero. Linebackers Chris Espinoza and Andrew Fernandez. Safeties Alberianos and Jerry Contreras. Just a good bunch of guys there. There's Jeff Chamada, misses the punt, but Danny Marquez is there to pick up the ball. Here's a pitch to Andrew Fernandez, gets around the left end, and a nice block by Chris Tafoya, and Andrew Fernandez is off to the races. Nice gain. Let's take a look at that again. Tom Wolf pitches to Andrew Fernandez. He gets around the left end, gets a nice block from Chris Tafoya, who blows up his defender. Pow! Fernandez gets a nice run of about 25 yards. Big play there. Here's a counter to Chris Espinoza for about 5 or 6 yards. Here's a pitch to Andrew Fernandez. Short gain. Here's a third down pass that goes incomplete to Eric Lowen. And here's a fake punt. Andrew Fernandez takes it up the middle. There's nowhere to go. He hands off to Travis Anderson, and Travis Anderson is off to the races. It's a foot race to the pylon, and he falls in for a Wolves touchdown. Wow. Let's take a look at that again. Andrew Fernandez takes it up the middle. There's nowhere to go. Travis Anderson takes the ball from Andrew, sneaks around the right end, and gets into the end zone for a Wolf touchdown. Wolves are up 12-0. Here's the extra point attempt. Wolves back to pass, and he connects with Eric Lowen for the 2-point conversion. The Wolves are now up 14-0. Things getting out of control for Reno. They're going to need to answer here quickly, or it's going to be a done deal. Nice tackle there by a Wolf. And there's a run around the left end for a short gain. And here's Dean Knowles back to pass, and he's going to find a wide open Kyle Gordon for a Reno touchdown. The late Kyle Gordon, the speedy Kyle Gordon. And the extra point is good. It's now 14-8. So all of a sudden, this game has tightened up a bit. Here's a handoff to Chris Espinoza for no gain. And another short gain on the right-hand side there. And looks like the Wolves turn over the ball to Reno. Game getting very tight. It's now the fourth quarter. Woodland up 14-8. Reno's punting. And Robert Lopez with the return. Not much there. Tom Wolf back to pass. Over the middle to Andrew Fernandez for a nice gain there. There's a run by, looks like Chris Espinoza. And a broken play. And Wolf back to pass. And it looks like it's knocked down, incomplete. Chris Espinoza back to punt. And Jeff Shimada is all over the returner. Wow, nice play. Let's take a look at that again. So Chris Espinoza punts. Jeff Shimada gets downfield and makes a nice play on the return. Nice play, Jeff. Mike Washburn's there to pick it up, but the ball was already dead. Wolves defense all over that. Here's a run to the right, and it goes nowhere. Here's a halfback pass, and almost intercepted again by the Wolves. Here's a quick pass to the right. It's a flea flicker, but it doesn't fool anybody, and here comes a pack of Wolves. Pow! Let's take a look at that again. It's a quick pass to the right, a flea flicker, but Oscar Romero's there to sniff it out, and here comes the rest of the Wolves. Nice play. Wolves with the ball. Here's a pitch to Andrew Fernandez. Running over people like he usually does. He did that to a few guys. Wolf back to pass. And just a little underthrown to Eric Lowen. Here's Robert Lopez over the right end for a short gain. And Chris Espinoza back to punt once again. And the returner misses it, but he recovers. And he gets away, but not for long. And the rest of the Wolves are there. Very late in the game now. Reno is in desperation mode. Here's a Dean Knowles pass. Just over the head of his receiver. And Dean Knowles back again. And again, he overthrows his receiver. And now he's going to take off scrambling. But the Wolves will catch him. Here's a nice play there. And Dean Knowles scrambling again. Running for his life. And the Wolves catch up to him. Down to the last few seconds now. Desperation time. Wolves still up 14-8. And there's a nice sack by James Dove. Let's take a look at that again. JD comes right up the middle and sacks Dean Knowles for a big loss. Nice play, JD. Dean Knowles back to pass and incomplete. And just a few seconds left now. And the Wolves are all over the quarterback. The game is over. And the Wolves have won again, 14-8 against Reno. They're 3-0-1 in preseason. And next week they move on to the league opener against Davis. It's homecoming on October 6th, 1978. Here is Robert Lopez returning the kickoff for the Wolves. Nice return there. Here's a pitch to Andrew Fernandez for a nice gain on the left side. And Chris Espinoza on a counter play for a couple yards. Here's Andrew Fernandez up the middle for another 5 yards, so the Wolves are driving. Here's Chris Espinoza around the left end, and he's going to pick up another 5 yards. Here's a pitch to Andrew Fernandez. He's going backwards, and he's going to somehow make about 5 or 10 yards, actually. Nice play, Andrew. And Tom Wolf back to pass, and it's intercepted. by Scott Calloway, taking it all the way down to the Wolves 33. So a nice drive by the Wolves is stopped. Here's Mike Kincaid with a couple carries. Another carry to Mike Kincaid for no gain. And yet another carry all the way down to the 3-yard line. And Bill Montgomery's going to punch it in for a Davis High touchdown. And Ben Hendrick will kick the extra point. It's 7-0, Davis Blue Devils. Here's Lopez returning the kick again. And Andrew Fernandez taking down for a loss. The Wolves need to get something going here. Down 7-0. Here's a fumble, and it's recovered by Bob Schmidt. So the Wolves are in trouble early. Down 7-0, and the Devils now have the ball deep in Wolves territory. Here's a nice play by Oscar Romero for a loss. And here's a 4th down play, and Eric Beaver's pass falls incomplete. So the Wolves avoid a disaster there, and they get the ball back. Tom Wolf back to pass. Out to Andrew Fernandez for a nice gain there. There's no gain on that play. And end of the quarter, and it looks like Robert Santillan punting with Oscar Romero and Ben Lagura touching the ball down. Robert Lopez also there. Jeff Shimada, Danny Marquez, and I think that's Chick Wagner. And here come the Blue Devils again, but this time the Wolves are all over them. And it looks like Mike Kincaid taken down there. And Blue Devils will punt. Here's Robert Lopez returning the punt. And he's going toward the sideline. Then now he's changing directions. A nice little run there. Nice run there, Robert. Here's Ben Lagura with a nice carry for about 4 yards. And Wolf back to pass. He hits Chris DeFoy over the middle for a nice gain. All the way down to the 45. Let's take a look at that again. Little 3-step drop and hits Chris DeFoy over the middle. In traffic. Good for a 1st down. There's a nice 3-yard gain. And no gain there. And here's a reverse to James Dove. Looks like he wants to throw it. Pulls it down, and now he's going to run. And he's actually going to make a few yards. He looks like he's going to get about 7 or 8 yards. And Wolf back to pass. And he throws, and it's he just threw it away, looks like. That must have been 4th down because now the Blue Devils have the ball. Here's Kincaid again, but this time he's met by Andrew Fernandez. And I believe that's Harry Dwyer now in. And Chris Espinoza just punishes. That's a lineman actually caught that ball. Dwyer, in desperation, threw it up, and I believe a lineman caught the ball and was punished for catching it by Chris Espinoza. Pow! They get penalized, and they're 15 yards and loss of down. And they're forced to punt. And it's blocked by Chris Espinoza and recovered by Raul Lopez. Let's see that again. Chris Espinoza goes right up the middle, blocks the punt, and Raul falls on it. So the Wolves are in business. Let's see if they can tie this up. Wolf back to pass. He throws over the head of Chris DeFoy. Here's a pitch to Andrew Fernandez, and he gets down to about the 2-yard line. Wolves now threatening right at about the 2-yard line. Here's a handoff to Chris Espinoza, and he just can't quite get in. And it looks like the Wolves moved, so they're going to be penalized 5 yards. They're back to the 6-yard line. Here's a pitch to Andrew Fernandez, and this time he's going to get in, and the Wolves score 7-6. Let's take a look at that again. It's a pitch from Wolf to Fernandez, and he gets in easily. 7-6. Looks like the Wolves draw him offside, and looks like they're going to go for 2 now. And unfortunately, the 2-point conversion fails. The Devils hold. The score is Davis 7, Woodland 6. And that's how the first half will end. James Dove will kick off to start the second half with the Davis Blue Devils leading 7-6. Looks like the Wolves defense is tightening up against that Blue Devil run game. And here's a sack. Let's take a look at that again. I believe it's Mike Washburn, Raul Lopez, and Travis Anderson are there. I think even Jimmy Vargas is in there. And the Wolves almost get the quarterback. He slips away and picks up a couple of yards. Blue Devils back to punt and goes out of bounds around the 50. Here's Andrew Fernandez for no gain. Tom Wolf back to pass. And can't quite find the receiver there. Looks like the Devils have the ball back now. Here's a little screen pass to the left side. And breaks a tackle and makes a few yards there. Missed opportunity for the Wolves. And there's a fumble, and it's recovered by Raul Lopez, so the Wolves are in business. Here's a screen pass to Andrew Fernandez. A nice run. Takes it all the way down to the Wolves' 25. Let's take a look at that again. Wolf throws to Andrew, and he scampers all the way down to about the 25-yard line. So the Wolves are in business here. Here's Jeff Shimada for a short gain. Another carry for Shimada for no gain. Here's Chris Espinoza for about 7 yards. Wolves threatening. Here's Andrew Fernandez. Oh, almost gets in there. Oh, and there's a fumble, but I believe the Wolves got it back. And they're stopped at the goal line there. Here's a pitch on 4th down to Andrew Fernandez, but this time it's sniffed out, and the Wolves do not get in the end zone. The Blue Devils have the ball back. They stop the Wolves. Deep in their own territory now. It's the beginning of the 4th quarter. And the Wolves just have trouble stopping the run game of the Blue Devils. They need to stop it. They need to get the ball back. And it's just the Bill Montgomery show now. Another first down for the Blue Devils. Blue Devils continuing to run, and it's just one run after another. They just can't stop the Blue Devils. It's hard to believe with this defense, but this Blue Devil team put together a solid drive and kept the ball away from the Wolves. One run after another. The Wolves desperately tried to rip the ball out, create a turnover, but for the entire 4th quarter, the Blue Devils held on to the ball, drove it almost the entire length of the field, and beat the Wolves on homecoming 7-6. Quite upsetting for the Wolves after going 3-0-1 in preseason. They had high hopes, and they lose 7-6 to the rival on homecoming on their home field. So the Wolves now have their work cut out for them. They're 0-1 in league with a big game next week. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more Woodland Wolves JV football video right here.